Welcome to the Say It Different podcast. My name is Tyler, and I'm joined every episode with my great friend, Justin Dailey. Our hope is to have real, authentic, and helpful conversations about the issues that we're all facing and talking about. Our perspective is going to say it different. Well, I had a random thought the other day.
It's dangerous.
It's very dangerous, but whenever I'm driving by myself, I get bombarded with random thoughts. I don't know if that happens to you, but it happens to me. And the random thought I had was, if I went to prison, what would be my plan? Meaning this, I think, I can see nervousness in your face right now.
Yeah, a little bit.
I convinced myself that I could escape from prison. And it could be because
in 2024.
It's because I've watched multiple shows, but let me hear out my logic, and then I want to ask you if you think you could escape from prison.
I don't think I could, but go ahead.
Hold on. If you're sentenced, what was in my head was, if I'm sentenced to 5 years or less, I ride that puppy out.
For sure.
Yeah. So I'm convinced that my fight or flight instincts are strong enough. While I'm a pretty man, I could survive prison. 5 years or less, I could make it happen.
Yes. I'm not going to comment. Yes.
More than 5 years, I think I plot an escape route.
Okay.
Because here's what you got to understand. For 5 to 6 years, I'm studying every room, every routine, every like for 5 years. That's a ton of days.
Yeah, and you're a smart man. Yeah.
And hold on. Okay. And then if I don't make it out, I deserve to stay in prison. If I've been studying it for 6 years.
For sure.
And I can't pull it off.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm not Harry Houdini. You lock me up, I'm here.
Where are you going to go if you get out? It's 2024. That's my thing.
I didn't think that far ahead. Yeah. I just was convincing myself I could escape prison.
Yeah. I agree. 6 years you studying, you're a smart man. You could get out. Yeah. I'm just wondering where you're going. You have no money, no resource, and you got to get out of the country. I think it's really easy to get in the country right now, but it may not be as easy to get out of the country.
Well, I think you'd be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could just.
I just made an immigration joke.
I did. Yeah. I did appreciate that. Yeah. But like you getting nervous about my prison comments, I got nervous to comment on the immigration comments.
Well, we don't even talk about Biden economics or anything like that.
No, we want to stay away from that.
Okay,
stuff.
good.
Yeah. But
it is expensive to live here and easy to get in. But other than that,
well, maybe prison's a better option for people.
For some people, it's way better.
Yeah. You could get paid more.
Yeah, a lot more.
Yeah.
Free cable.
Yeah. I think I would just live in the woods if I got out, but I could survive.
Is the woods better than prison?
I think eventually.
Yeah. I don't know. I heard they have Netflix now and 3 meals.
Yeah.
A little workout.
Yeah. It's the company.
I agree with you, though.
It's the roommates. The roommate situation in prison would make me a little nervous.
Yeah. I'm staying away from all of your prison comments. All know.
The meals and the workout plan sound beneficial, but the roommates would be tough.
Be tough. Yeah. I have nothing appropriate to comment. Let's move on.
Oh man, I've got so many things I want to say, and we just can't.
No, this is Say It Different, but not that different. It's still safe for the little ears.
It's not Say It Gross. Yeah. It's Say It Different.
Yeah. Let's talk about this offline.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Good.
If we ever get a big following, we'll have like a separate account where the conversation continues.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm just glad more people aren't in my head on a regular basis, because these are the random.
Oh, I'm very glad that I don't have a direct access to your thoughts.
Talk about a prison cell.
Prison of your own emotions.
A couple weeks ago, there was a solar eclipse.
Yes.
Which was all the rage.
It was.
And now it's gone.
It's gone. We're still here.
And we're still here. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Okay, great.
There was a lot of hype.
Unlike you in prison after 5 years, we're still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, great.
But the solar eclipse is not.
No.
Which is like me in prison.
Yeah.
Not there. But a lot of people were talking about this being it was just hilarious. It was hilarious to me that all these people are freaking out saying Jesus is coming back. Everything's lining up. This solar eclipse is it's going to be it. It's going to be it. And then it wasn't.
It was not.
And then it wasn't. And I thought it'd be fun. This is our last episode of the season.
Okay.
And because it's the end of season 2. I thought it'd be fun to talk a little bit about end times.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Like
Great connection.
That was a great segue. Yeah. So I just wanted to maybe start with,
and like Jesus, we'll be coming back again in the fall
for season 3.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. That's the kind of content you come to this podcast for. Yeah. That's seamless. That wasn't planned.
That was not planned.
That was what some people would say a cappella.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A cappella is...
Acapella. No tracks. No plan. No music.
A cappella is just no music.
Just our talent.
I think you're looking for improv.
Improv.
Yeah. It's similar. That's fine.
I think Eddie always says I'm going a cappella.
Yeah. A cappella just means no music. Yeah. That's fine.
It sounds right when he says it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have corrected you. People would, but I wanted the viewing audience, the listening audience to know that a cappella means no music, not.
But our friend Eddie always says, I'm going to go a cappella.
Yeah. He does.
I think he means impromptu.
Yeah.
Or freestyle.
It's true.
Freestyle would maybe be better.
What I've learned is that if you say anything with enough confidence, people just go along with it.
Yeah. It's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
So anyway, what is your personal approach with end times? Just meaning
that's a
yeah. That's just what the question I wrote down.
My personal approach with end times.
I mean, it's going to happen.
Yes.
But I guess maybe a better question would be, how obsessed with it do we need to be?
I've never thought about it.
Yeah. Why is that?
Because if I'm still here, I have stuff to do, and I don't have time to think about or worry about things that I can't control.
Okay.
So I know heaven and hell are reality. I know that Jesus is coming back. I know that the scriptures call us to be prepared for his second coming, to be ready, both with our morality, our character, our purpose. And as long as we are still here, whether it be the earth is still here or we're still here alive, that we have a purpose to fulfill. And so I'm not ignorant of it, or I don't ignore it, but I don't obsess over it, because I feel like that's not in my purview. It's not my job description. It's not my job to figure that out.
Sure. But a lot of people
are obsessed with it.
But
I think that's based off of stress and worry.
Yeah.
And insecurity. Like, I know where I'm going, and I know until I get there, my job is to try and help as many people get there as possible. And so, yes, have I studied it? Have I read Revelation? Have I read the Bible? Have I read Daniel and Ezekiel? Have I read Paul's writings and 1st and 2nd Thessalonians? Yeah, like I'm well versed in end times theory. But people that just talk about it, preach about it, obsess over it, like, I think God left us here because he has something for us to do. And so I don't think we should be ignorant of it, but I don't think we should be obsessed by it.
What about in Matthew, there's a passage where Jesus kind of lays out all the warning signs for the end times, and it's famine,
earthquakes, wars, and rumors of war.
Like it literally is a description of now.
But it's also a description of every generation since Jesus.
Yeah. Okay. No, I mean, I think that's the stuff that I want to get into.
So what now? People are like, oh my gosh, look, there's an earthquake in Taiwan. There's an earthquake in New York City. There's a solar eclipse. And could Jesus be coming back? Absolutely.
Right.
I don't know. The Bible says Jesus doesn't even know.
Yeah.
He's at the right hand of the Father interceding on our behalf. And he says, I only do what my Father tells me to do. He's going to tell me when to come back. And so wars and rumors of war, earthquakes, famines, fires, like, look all throughout. Babylonian Empire, Assyrian Empire, Persian Empire, Civil War, Revolutionary War, World War I, World War II. Like, we've had wars and rumors of war. We've had unrest in the Middle East since Isaac and Ishmael. Like, what are we talking about? Like, why are we obsessed? The enemy convinces us that our problems and our reality in our world is new, and it's the same thing in a cyclical behavior.
Yeah.
And this is not the topic, but like, America is just the new version of Rome and Assyria and Babylon. Like, we're going to have a rise, we're going to have a fall. Right. Like, this is like, we're not the center of God's universe. And so I think we get so obsessed with how it affects us, and we lose sight of our history. And as a Christian, we lose sight of our future. Like, my future is in heaven. Why am I worried about all the details?
Right. Well, I think you said something there kind of quickly in passing, that it's America that's in moral decline. Like, I know the world is, but like, specifically from the majority of the people we talk to, because we live here, this is the world, like, this is the part of the world we're so focused on. And it's our world that's decaying in America.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw a funny graphic the other day on social media. It was like how Americans view the end times, and it was just a globe with just America.
Yeah.
Like no other countries, nothing else. And so, yeah, we just view it through such a sheltered and ignorant and small perspective.
Well, it's what our downfall is. It's our pride, right? I
mean, it's the pride of every society.
Yeah.
So power produces pride. And we've been in power for a couple hundred years. And if we don't get it right, we will fall like every other civilization. That's right. And I'm the most patriotic, American flag in the front yard, Star Spangled Banner, stand up. Like, I love our country. If I was young enough with some of the stuff that happened in the recent history, I would have enlisted and fought for our country. Like, I love our country, but gosh, we're not the center of the universe.
No.
And we're not going to be around forever. The only thing that's going to be around forever is the kingdom of heaven. And so that's why end times are important. We need to understand them. We need to understand that Jesus is seated at the right hand of the Father. He's coming back to rule, that he's going to initiate a new heaven and a new earth. All that stuff is important, but to be obsessed with it over being effective, I think we've missed the mark.
Yeah. No, I think you said something about fear driving a lot of that obsession that I think's convicting and
let me just say this, and this may be too far. Maybe we'll edit it. I've never met somebody that was obsessed with the end times that I wanted to hang out with.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, what are we talking about, bub? Like, what do you want to watch tonight? Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Like, have you thought about the solar eclipse? Like, no, I haven't. What if Jesus come back? What if he is? What if he's? I can't control that. Like, why am I gonna be obsessed about this solar eclipse when like?
What would you say to the guy on the maybe other side of the discussion that's looking at the end times and saying, man, I remember thinking this way too. I hope Jesus doesn't come back before I get married. I hope Jesus doesn't come back before I become a grandparent. I hope Jesus doesn't come back before I get to have kids or like whatever. I
would say that is a perfectly normal human response.
Yeah.
So I would give you so much grace. I remember, and if we're talking as men, when we said that, it was because we wanted to participate in marital activities.
Yeah.
We wanted to experience things. And I would say nobody should ever make you feel bad about that. And your human nature and your flesh and your own natural desires, that's completely normal. But if you have a real relationship with Jesus, if you have a real understanding of eternity, God, it's so much better. Eternity is so much better than now.
Right.
We're so obsessed with, is there going to be marriage in heaven? Is there going to be dogs in heaven? Are there going to be my pets in heaven? And we've lost the picture of how great our God is.
Right.
How amazing the plan he has for our eternity. And so I would say it's normal, but you need to look past that normal inclination to something that's better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think you missed dogs will be in heaven, cats won't. That's kind of the distinction there.
I'm not saying dogs won't be in heaven. I'm saying your dog's not going to be in heaven because it doesn't have a spirit.
That we should edit out because that got some people mad.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Definitely.
And that's why we say it different.
Well, different is.
Well, I don't know. To be fair, I'm not God. I've never been there, so I don't know. I'm just saying based off basic theology, only one living being was creating God's image with both a body, a soul, and a spirit, and that was humans.
Yeah, well, that's something to think about.
Yeah,
we'll ponder that in between seasons.
Yeah, we'll say I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
but I'd be willing to bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Connected to this kind of discussion, I do feel is we look at scripture and Jesus also says, "Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow's like today's got enough worries." Enough for you to worry about today. The sparrow doesn't worry about where its meal coming from tomorrow. And so I think that there's also a balance in life with focus on today, effectiveness, which is part of what's tied to this. Like I'm just going to still stay here and be effective.
Yeah.
But there's also nothing wrong with planning and looking at the future as well. So I do feel like there's a discussion here with you either go too extreme and you're too focused on the future.
For sure.
Or you go too extreme and you're not focused on the future enough.
Yeah.
And so how do I kind of live
I think it goes with a lot of our
there?
Conversations. I think it's both and.
Yeah.
Like I have a college savings account for my boys. I have a IRA. I have a 403B. I'm planning for retirement, but I'm not waiting till I'm 65 to live. So like I'm planning for a future, but I'm also not putting all of my hopes, my dreams, I'm not delaying all of my effectiveness, nor am I trying to rush through. So I think it's both and. Yeah, we have to plan for what's coming, but we also have to be a good steward of what's now.
Yeah.
And so I can't just always wait for eternity or wait for retirement or wait for the next season. Like, yes, I have to plan for the next season, but the Bible says, don't worry about tomorrow. It says his mercies are new every single morning. I also have to be faithful with today. So I think it's both. Like I have to be faithful with my finances, with my health, with my decisions for the future. But I also have to not just live in the future. I have to be effective, like right where I am.
Yeah. How do you reflect on the end of your day and feel that you have been effective? Like, what is it that you're looking to feel like you can go to bed at night saying, man, I did it today?
I don't know if there's, I'm not very routine oriented. I don't know that I have a checklist. I would just have to say, a win for me was I present everywhere I was supposed to be? Did I make the world a better place, or did I spend time preparing to make the world a better place? And so whether it be sermon prep, whether it be businesses, whether it be interaction with people, whether it be interaction with my kids or my wife, I'd say if I had to do a reflection, it'd be like, was I present everywhere I was, and did I produce the most amount that I could in every single setting? And if those answers are yes, then, and some days it looks like leading a small group with 40 guys that we co-lead, and we have great conversations and we really impacted 40 people. Or it could be sitting on my back porch and spending 8 hours in message prep that we know they're going to affect thousands of people on Sunday. But I look back and say, I either prepared to make a difference or I made a difference. And that is our calling, right? Once we receive Jesus, is to present Jesus and to make a difference with our life. And so did I make a difference in the lives of the people that I interacted with? Yeah. Or did I prepare to make a difference in the lives of people? Because some days I'm just here. I mean, my situation, I don't have my boys full time. And so there's days where I'm not making the biggest difference in their life, but am I preparing for their future? Was I faithful in business so that they'll have an inheritance? They'll have a leg up in the future generations. Was I either affecting people in my conversations or my leadership, or was I preparing to affect them as I present or teach or educate? So,
well, I think you said something there, which is be present. I think everybody can kind of maybe hang on to that, even though our jobs all look different, because that is a huge challenge.
That's my biggest thing I've learned in the last 2 or 3 years. Because I have a learning disability based off childhood trauma, ADHD. I've spent a lot of time on to the next thing for most of my life. And the greatest gift God's given me through some tragedy and through some loss is just enjoying and doing my best to be present in conversations, in relationships, in moments with people. Yeah.
I think it's safe to say it's all going to end someday.
Yeah.
And the guys that enjoy prepping and getting everything ready, eventually that cabinet's going to be bare if it's as bad as it's going to get, or as bad as you think it's going to get. So you can't prep enough. You can't out prep destruction.
No, it's good. It's true.
So like even that game doesn't make a ton of sense to me. And so I think just living in a moment of wanting to be effective while doing the best we can.
It's the thing we talk about Christianity all the time. It's the tug of war. It's the tension. There are problems to be solved and there's tensions to be managed. And this end times discussion is a tension, because if I over prepare, then I'm making it about me and I'm trying to survive and I'm the focal point, and it just gets weird. Like, what are you trying to survive? If it's the end times, you're going to heaven, bub. If you're a Christian, like, you're good.
Right.
But then the Christian or the person that's like not prepared, well, then you're not prepared for eternity. You're not prepared for Jesus coming back. So I don't think we can have an apathetic approach, but I also don't think we can have this like obsessive approach. Because I think both of those limit. If we have an apathetic approach, we don't see the urgency of helping people. Because we're like, oh, we're good. It's fine. Nothing's ever going to happen. No, something is going to happen. You're either going to die or Jesus is going to come back. So you can't be apathetic. But you also can't be obsessive, because then you've made it about you and not about helping other people.
Right.
And so I think it's like so many things. It's a tension. We need to be aware. We need to be educated, but we don't need to be obsessed.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. And if you ever find yourself in prison, I could be a great resource to maybe help get you out. That's what we've learned today.
It's a great resource just based off of your random thoughts driving. So you're an expert now.
Well,
because you've seen Prison Break.
Like in
Escape
Times,
from Alcatraz.
Like in Times, I have a plan. And we will.
Count of Monte Cristo. Great movie. He escaped from prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did. Alcatraz was, I heard a reference to.
Yeah. Clint Eastwood, Escape from Alcatraz. Great movie.
Yeah.
Or The Rock.
That's an absolute throwback.
Yeah.
Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, I'm well versed.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a cultured
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. The Rock with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage is also in Alcatraz.
Sean Connery passed a couple years back. That's too soon. That's too soon.
I think he's pretty old. I don't think it was very soon.
Well, he lived a full life.
Yeah.
He did live a full life.
He's like 90.
Well, listen, thanks so much for joining us this episode. It is, again, the final episode of season 2.
But not the end times for this podcast.
We will be back.
Yeah.
We are riding our white horse back for season 3 in the fall.
Yeah.
And so you're going to have to find a great podcast to bridge the gap. But like your favorite show.
Yeah.
We'll wait a year, maybe 2 for the
Yellowstone.
season to come back.
But we're both coming back, though.
Yeah.
Not like Kevin Costner.
We'll come back before Kevin Costner comes back with John Dutton. That is a fact.
And that's sad.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in a couple months. Well, hey, everyone, thanks so much for listening today. Please subscribe for more content, and you can follow us at Say It Different Podcast.